the two-dimensional array. We have already seen what is one-dimensional array is. One-dimensional array, it is nothing but a list. It is a collection of similar type of values, similar type of element under a single variable name. In this lecture, I am going to explain what actually two-dimensional array is. In this lecture, you will find definition, declaration, initialization, and storage of two-dimensional array in memory. It is also possible for array to have two or more dimensions. The two-dimensional array, it is also known as matrix. Generally, it is used to store the data in the form of table, rows and columns. The general declaration of two-dimensional array can be given as data type, array name, and in two different square brackets, row size and column size, as shown on the screen. Consider an example, integer a of 3 by 4. Here a is two-dimensional array with row size 3 and column size 4. In other words, a is a matrix or a table of 3 rows and 4 columns, and it can store 3 multiplied by 4, that is total 12 elements of type integer. Now we are going to see how the two-dimensional array can be initialized. Array can be initialized at the time of its declaration. It takes the general format like data type, array name, row size, column size equal to, in curly bracket, the list of values. Consider an example, integer a of 2 by 3 equal to, curly bracket, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here a is a two-dimensional array of 6 elements, or a is a matrix of 2 by 3. We can provide all the values together as a comma separated list as shown in this example. We can also provide the values to the matrix row wise as shown in the screen in this example. Integer a of 2 by 3 in curly bracket, the first curly bracket contains first row 1, 2, 3. The second curly bracket contains the second row 4, 5, 6. We can also provide the initial value to the element of matrix in the form of matrix, means first row, then second row, then third row, and then fourth row, as shown in the example. In this example, integer a of 2 by 3, in first line we have given first row, in second line we have given second row.
Storage of array element in memory. Whether it is 1, 2 or multi-dimensional array, array elements are always stored in consecutive memory locations, one after the other. It means that memory does not contain rows and columns. Consider the declaration integer a of 1 by 6, integer a of 2 by 3, integer a of 3 by 2, integer a of 6 by 1. In each declaration, the two-dimensional array A contains 6 elements. The difference between the array elements is their index number and how they can be seen by the user. In first example, A contains only one row with 6 entries or columns. In second example, A contains 2 rows. Each row contains 3 elements or 3 columns. In third example, A contains 3 rows. Each row contains 2 columns. And in the last example, A contains 6 rows. Each row contains only 1 column.
Consider a programming example.
This is an example of two-dimensional array. This C program is used to find sum of element of matrix of size 2 by 2. Here we have declared a two-dimensional array or matrix of size 2 by 2. We require 3 more variables such as sum and the 2 loop counters I and j. We are passing a message to the user on the screen to enter element of matrix A. To handle two-dimensional array, we always used a nested loop. The outer loop indicates the number of rows, while the inner loop is used to deal with column entries of the particular row. It means that the outer loop is executed for row number of times, that is 2 times, and the inner loop is executed for column number of times, that is 2 times in our example. Here I is equal to 1, I is equal to 0, 0 is less than 2, condition is true, inner loop is started here. J is equal to 0, 0 is less than 2, condition is true, getting entry in inner block, reading the value of A of 0, 0 from the user, that is 10. Now sum is equal to old sum, that is 0, plus the value of A of 0, 0, that is 10. Result 10 will be copied to the new sum. Increasing the value of J, it becomes 1. 1 is less than 2. Condition is true. Getting entry in inner block again. Reading the value of A of 0, 1 from the user, that is 20. Now sum is equal to old sum, that is 10 plus the value of A of 0, 1, that is 20. Result 30 will be copied to the new sum. Increasing the value of J, it becomes 2. 2 is less than 2. Condition goes false. The inner loop will be terminated. The cursor will be transferred to increment section of outer loop. Increasing the value of I, it becomes 1. 1 is less than 2. Condition is true. Getting entry in outer block, inner loop will be restarted. That is J is equal to 0. 0 is less than 2. Condition is true. Getting entry in inner block, reading the value of A of 1, 0 from the user, that is 50. Now sum is equal to old sum, that is 30, plus value of A of 1, 0, that is 50. Result 80 will be copied to the new sum. Increasing the value of J, it becomes 1. 1 is less than 2. Condition is true. Getting entry in inner block, reading the value of A of 1, 1 from the user, that is 100. Now sum is equal to old sum, that is 80, plus the value of A of 1, 1, that is 100. Result 180 will be copied to the new sum. Increasing the value of J, it becomes 2. 2 is less than 2. Condition goes false and inner block will be terminated. The cursor will be transferred to increment section of outer loop again. Increasing the value of I, it becomes 2. 2 is less than 2. Condition goes false. The outer loop will be terminated. Now we are printing the message. Sum of all elements is equal to value of sum, that is 180. The final output of the program should be enter the element of matrix A 10, 20, 50, 100. Sum of all elements equal to 180.